G'day and welcome to the Country Rugby League show. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson back for... We had a week off. We had the bye.
We had a bye, which I never thought we'd get, but it's great.
Yeah, it's good. Just sort of fixed up a few injuries and niggling bits and things that we had.
Yeah.
So
like most bye weeks, the first week was on the PlayStation, the second week was training and getting back reconditioned and stuff ready for this episode.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll see how we go. Mate, did you get out to anything on the weekend?
It was so miserable, at least on the Sunday where I was, and so many things were called off, I just had to rely on BarTV, and I actually watched a bit of Sunshine Coast, so I was flicking around a little bit, and a little bit down the South Coast, so it was great. Yeah,
South Coast was... unreal. NAIDOC weekend, or NAIDOC week I should say, and all the clubs in Group 7 South Coast having those Indigenous jerseys, which we'll touch on a little bit later.
Fantastic. They put in a real concerted effort down there. It's fantastic to see.
Well done to all involved with them. But just a couple of sort of funny, quirky things I saw on the weekend, and it involved the Indigenous jerseys of Kiama and Berry. We've got it up now on the screen, and Kiama on the attack. Now, have a look at this, for one, how close the winner is to the sideline, keeps it in play.
Be a touchy, like to try to call that. Was that in or out? We will look later.
So, obviously, having access to footage, I'm going to go back and slow it down this and see if the boot hits the ground now.
I couldn't call it. Look at that.
That's play on as far as I'm concerned.
Exceptional touchy work. And
well done.
Almost certainly a volunteer that, knew they were going to be there that day, but not, just someone that's been sort of not quite plucked out of the crowd, but good on them. Yeah,
so that was the, I just thought, that's amazing work, not only from the winger from Kiama, but the touch judge to, just...
And his footwork. He knew what he was doing. He really kind of went down there and said, I don't think at some stage he knew exactly what he was doing. He said, I'll kick it, and I've got this, and he did.
Yeah, so well done. The other part is that now, if you're religious or you're not, or
agnostic,
whatever you believe, one thing I've worked out that I think that if there is God, he's a Burleigh Bear supporter. Have a look at this. Clip from the A-grade match against Currumbin Saturday evening here. So
beautiful sunshine. You see the difference there compared to other.
So Burleigh's on the attack. Now, the first thing's coming up here is this ball floats forward, marginally probably about 4 or 5 metres forward. Yeah. It's play on here at this stage. Touched. Knocked back, maybe. I don't know. Still, who wants it?
Yeah, probably onside.
Wrapped up here. Somehow scores.
There are Kiama players lying everywhere. Just wondering what's going on.
And I just would have loved to know what the referee and the touchy are discussing there. It would have been a shrug of the shoulders.
That time the ref looks at the touchy just before he calls it, and you imagine the look on the touchy's face, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on.
Or it's a bit like, look, Currumbin had about half a dozen chances to wrap the ball up. They didn't. Burleigh, you can have it.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a war zone. Like I said, Currumbin players laying everywhere.
But we love silly tries, funny stuff like that. Obviously, if you're on the receiving end, it's not that funny, but...
No, but, like I've said before, it's great having BarTV out there capturing this stuff, because if we didn't capture it, there would be people out there, that story wouldn't be believed. They'd be like, no, then he kicked it, and then it's like, no, that didn't happen. They're talking about it at the pub after the game.
Yeah, so, if you see any funny stuff like that may happen, I mean, it doesn't have to be even a try. It could be a, the water boy slipping over or something like that. We'll share it here on BarTV.
Yeah, fantastic. Anything, even your own footage from the weekend game.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into the highlights from the weekend. Newcastle and Illawarra competitions didn't get going on BarTV, but first up we have Rugby League Gold Coast, round 13, and we just showed that clip a minute ago. Here's Burleigh scoring another one.
This is a game I was watching, and Currumbin were in it, in it, this game. I thought they were going to win it at some stage, but Burleigh just pulled away.
34-22, and what a game this was. Mudgee Bar led, I think, 28-6. This is basically the last play of the game, and Helensvale, look at this, back yourself.
Oh, yeah, no pressure either. Like he knew at the time was ticking.
So the celebration here, and I love the goal kick coming up here. Bit of a fist pump. He screams out.
Got it. God, there would have been some nerves there, wouldn't there?
Yeah, well done to Helensvale. They haven't had much success. And this one here too. Final moments of the play. Again, Ormo were down and out, and they come back to win this one at the death against ladder leaders at the time, Southport.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You see the celebrations there. That's what it's all about.
24-20 that one. And here, Tugan on Sunday defeated Runaway Bay 34-12.
Yeah. very convincing.
And there's the ladder. Burleigh back up on top. It's so close.
I know. And Ormo, a real shot of being in finals contention, really, or in finals contention. A real shot of being in the finals in their first year back.
Yeah, so,
fantastic.
Very, very close. So, it'll probably change again next week.
Yeah, I know. Especially with their point system. Maybe adding 50 or -2 or something. We'll work it out at some stage.
We'll go to the Sunshine Coast, and Caboolture hosted Kawana here, but the Dolphins got the late win. This try levelled things up. Then they kicked a field goal later on to win 13-12.
Fantastic. Night footy still into the season up there. It's fantastic.
Maroochydore had a big win over Caloundra, 50-4. Then here, Noosa, it looks a bit cold there.
Yeah, you can see the steam pouring off them.
38-10. Noosa over Nambour.
Good little dummy from the prop there. Like, I don't think anyone believed he was going to pass. I'll just keep running.
It's all in slow motion too. And Beerwah got over Gympie, 46-4. There's the ladder on your screen. Yeah, interesting. Maroochydore and Kawana, they look like the two teams that are...
Yeah, and a few there on the fringes that are going to fight out that last place.
Yeah, so heading into the the back third of Sunshine Coast Rugby League now. And Triple RL. Ballina hosted Balambul in the match of the round up there, and Balambul Jets. I'd say this is an upset. Yeah. People that know the comp a bit closer maybe say no, it wasn't, but 28-18 Balambul over Ballina. Byron Bay had a good win, 56-12 over Kyogle.
Yeah, it's been a long season for Kyogle this year,
and they still get a good crowd up there though. They love their rugby league, so
good on them.
Hopefully they can turn it around soon. This one here, 26-all Murwillumbah and Evans Head.
So a lot of draws lately. I don't know what it is this deep in the season.
And here the final one, Northern United picking up another win, 42-28 over Mullumbimby. Great little intercept close to the sideline.
Yeah, a lot of pace there. And yeah, Northern United, they're actually doing quite well. It's been quite a success story of the comp, but they've been very strong this year.
Yeah, that game was played at, I think it was Clifford Park. I'm not sure whereabouts that is in Lismore, but I think it's like one of the only grounds available.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I kind of pump up those Lismore teams like I have all year for actually just being out there, so good on them. Yeah,
so pretty close up the top. Murwillumbah, Coogin, Balambul, Evans Head. Morris Brothers, Byron Bay are hanging in there, you think, but still.
They've all got a shot, really. Yeah. You sort of feel like that, even down to Tweed Coast, and Lower Clarence. They've still all got a chance of, sneaking into the finals.
Yeah, so interesting times. Coogin, they got the points on a forfeit last week, so...
okay.
Lower Clarence couldn't field a team, but anyway, they're basically had a bye weekend.
Yeah.
Group 7 now, and as we said, NAIDOC week, and how good are these jerseys?
Yeah, enjoy them. There are all of them on the Facebook page to enjoy as one, but yeah, they're great to watch on the field.
Gerringong winning 38-12 over Milton Ulladulla, and here Kiama 46-16 over Berry.
I think Kiama's my favourite of the jerseys. I was looking at them on that Facebook page.
And here we got Shell Harbour going down to Nowra 34-14. I actually didn't mind the Shell Harbour jersey. So if anyone's out there listening, maybe we can add to the collection.
I'm going to hit people up later, actually.
And here the Stingrays over Jamboree. This, you'd say it was a bit of an upset.
Yeah, Jamboree have been in good form, and I've kind of rated them as having a nice home run, but nice upset.
38-16, the Stingrays over Jamboree. And here, finally, we've got Warilla, 38-4 over Albion Park.
Yeah, they're white hot at the moment, Warilla. They're just, looking like they're heading that way towards the grand final at least.
Should get an extra 4 points for the dive there.
Yeah.
There's the ladder. Gerringong and Warilla up the top, 4-point gap now.
Yeah, and they're, like I said, both worthy. Warilla's in great form at the moment. It'll be interesting heading into the semis who can get them on a premiership.
And do you give any of those teams below the top 5 a chance of...
Well, actually, now, funnily enough, have kind of been plodding along and not playing too badly. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think, like Jamboree, personally think that they'll be the ones that might push further into the top 5, get up and maybe second or third. Yeah. At least third.
Well, we'll see how we go. It's gripping stuff. Canberra Rugby League and Woden Valley hosted the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. Woden Valley, they pretty much led most of the game, and almost lost it, but got the points over the Kangaroos. 34-30, just lost my notes there. Here, Belconnen, an upset over Toblerone.
Great run.
22-16, so a great result there for the Sharks.
Yeah.
And here on the Sunday game, West Belconnen 16-10 over Goulburn City. Managing to keep the ball alive.
Yeah, some of the game I watched, and it was well, good, highly skilled game.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's great footy, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
And the final game was Gungahlin v Yass. And again here, Gungahlin got it late, 18-16 is one of the good tries there. And it always seems a close game when Gungahlin plays.
And you feel sorry for Yass because they're eating up to their armpits and couldn't get it over. Considering where they are on the ladder there, that'll be the fight for the spoon maybe. Yeah,
well, there is the ladder there. West Bell still on top. That'll be a really good clash coming up. The Battle of Belconnen this weekend.
Yeah, bring it on. It'll be very interesting.
So that's the highlights from the weekend and the ladders. Some good footy coming up this weekend too. Can't wait to tuck into it. But now it's time for Around the Groups.
Rightio, there is plenty of stuff. I actually need to, I don't know, I'm not going to talk quickly. I might just have to skip some stuff. Starting off with the Eden Tigers. I didn't cover this before, but they actually celebrate this week last weekend, their 82 premiership, their 92 premiership, and their 2002 premiership. So it's the, 30th, 40th, 50th, whatever anniversary. I'm not going to do the maths.
2022 this year, are they a chance of...
I had to look into that. They're actually fourth at the moment. They're only 3 points off the lead. So it's not looking that bad, actually. I don't know. We're going to ride them home for the rest of the season. They actually had the former coaches come together. So the 2002 coach, Mark Gleeson, and Jared Kelly, the 82 coach. The 92 coach was Stuart Raper.
There you go.
For those people that know, ex-NRL player. I don't know if he would have been captain coaching. I'm sure he was young enough to be still playing at the time.
Yeah, he probably would have been captain coach for sure.
Yeah, so anyway, they actually came down. There's a picture there that they kind of went down for the occasion and got a little kind of plaque or whatever and that kind of thing. So that's really good. Now, Peter McDonald Premiership, I'll try to get through this quickly and so it makes sense, but I can't guarantee it, okay? But basically, I think there's a bit of friction politically within the Group 10, Group 11 alliance.
That doesn't happen in the league.
And the more I read into it, the more I thought, I think this is just friction. I don't think there's a real reason behind it. But look, I'm not going to get in. I don't want to upset anyone out there, but I'll try to explain it. Group 11 secretary. So Group 11 had their own meeting. Within their own meeting, has said that next year all teams should have 4 grades play in the Peter McDonald Premiership.
Okay.
Now that's going to hinder the Group 10 structure because Group 10 run their own reserves for their own teams. And I think essentially what he's saying is, look, forget all this nonsense about having your own comps over here. Let's all just be Peter McDonald Premiership. Group 10 have not done anything other than just run their own comps. They haven't come out and said, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So what's going on is, I think, just a bit of not a power push or anything like that. It's just more that... it's interesting that Group 11 and Group 10 still have their separate committees, and that Group 11 have come out and said this. We want it to be this way next year. When I don't really understand then who runs the Peter McDonald Premiership, because if they're going to do it this way, it's going to be a very convoluted way of sort of running the competition.
Group 10.5.
I know, and I kind of get to Group 10 are trying to just, I guess, maybe save costs in running their own reserves within their own group. Like, it just saves a lot of bother. I don't know what it is, but I don't know what will happen next. I don't know whether it seems to be they've found an excuse to kind of get upset in a way. Like I had a look. You look at the reserve for Group 10, and you think, there's actually somewhere in an article saying, Group 10 are going to struggle to get the numbers to run for Group 10's reserves, who they play amongst themselves, is completely full. Like every team is running a reserve grade team this year.
So I guess it comes down to the travel, and I think one of the big problems with country footy is that they say play under 18s at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're 18 years old, 17 years old.
No.
Like, the last thing I want to do is get up, travel for 2 hours, play a game of footy, Like, if they can somehow make 18s play, get 18s to play after first grade or something, or on a different day.
Yeah. Well, 18s play in the Peter McDonald structure, so you would think they are playing later, like as a reserve grade now. Okay. And I don't know. I just was looking at the more, like I said, it's confusing me because the more I'm looking at the system, the more I'm thinking, what's wrong with it? Like, it seems to be running okay.
Yeah.
But people out there would know what it's like. I don't know what it is. Reserves playing away. It's not upsetting Group 10.
Yeah.
Group 11, I don't know why.
Well, I guess I could see one thing is if your first grade team is playing 2 hours down the road and the reserve grade's playing at home or the opposite end, and another hour away, it does get hard that first grade they're travelling down, such and such has got the flu, we're a man short. But
I still thought that Group 11 could still do that if they want. They could run their Reggies against each other.
Yep.
As long as they want and keep that up. And I guess that's what Group 10 are doing in some way. They're keeping them local. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, it's a bit of friction there, and I don't know where it's going to go or where it's going to go anywhere. But anyway.
All right, look, if you got an opinion on that, send it through to BarTV Sports, Rugby League at bartv.com.au.
Yeah.
Leave a comment on the Facebook page. Yeah.
Potentially talking out of my ass. So I'd really like people to say, they might be, I'm curious to know what the problem is that they're trying to solve. Yeah. Anyway. Kiama Knights, good on the Kiama Knights. This is another one like Casino did the other week. There are some folk from Kiama's committee, the junior club committee, I should say, who went to Fiji and have handed out while they were there boots and pumps and jerseys and footies, and you can see the photos on the screen. The looks on the kids' faces just light up. I love how it says Kiama Leagues Club on their jersey, and they'll look there and say, one day, Dad, maybe we can go there to Kiama Leagues Club that's on my jersey. But it was an island, Malolo Lailai, so it's just not even a village. It's just this tiny little island in the middle of nowhere that now is a little Kiama kind of like fan club sort of based in the Pacific. So fantastic. Another quick one. This is a jersey push for the Valentine Elibana Red Devils in the Newcastle, Lake Macquarie area. They've actually sent boots out previously to Wilcannia.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah, and Wilcannia's been smashed for lots of reasons. They were smashed by COVID a lot because when they were in lockdown, apparently because it's desert everywhere, there weren't a lot of things getting in. You couldn't just rely on your local infrastructure. So they're in a lot of strife, and have come out of it okay. They actually sent boots out there based on the Aboriginal Health Unit, who've come up with this idea of the kids out there just need something in their life like some new boots and stuff. So they did a boot drive recently. Now they're doing a jersey drive. You could probably chuck some boots in there or whatever you like, as long as they're wearable jerseys. They want to get that organised. So if you're in the area around Newcastle, you know where Crowder Space Sports Complex is, send it that way. Or the Aboriginal Health Unit up sort of the hospital around here. What do you call it? John Hunter, yep. Yeah, so anyway... I will. This is a long one. Southwest Rocks, there are more kangaroos. If you look there on the screen, I just had to include this one because it's probably the best photo of a kangaroo. It's actually the captain, Owen Blair, was lining it up, sizing it up. It says on Facebook, was he sizing it up? I reckon there's a bit of rugby league in his eye, so I could just tackle this and it'll be a story to tell in the pub forever. But yeah, they're not going anywhere, those kangaroos. They're quite determined.
Good stuff.
And a shout out to NAIDOC jersey. Speaking of NAIDOC jerseys, the Group 7 Rugby League Referees Association, they're fantastic on Facebook. I really like. They're actually a very enthusiastic, organised group of referees. Okay. Yep. They did their own NAIDOC jersey. If you look on the screen now, that for those watching, that I thought was a really good interpretation of what a referee's jersey should be for NAIDOC week. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of the Dewsbury Rams.
Yeah, and it's sort of not like I was saying to you earlier. Like they can't have. You got to be a bit conservative with referee apparel, like it usually is. But that was a great interpretation of it. And if anybody, I don't know whether you can buy them. Anyone wants to buy me one, or I want to buy one, that would be so cool. I've never wanted a referee's jersey in my life, but this one I do. I love it.
It's right up there with the TNT jersey.
Yes, that's right, exactly. But anyway, they also even on their posts on Facebook, I really like they do stuff like thanking the volunteers at the games that were at that day. Like they specifically talked about Nowra Bomaderry and say how great the volunteers were and stuff. Little things like that. I just think make a massive difference in people's perception of referees as much as anything. But they're very enthusiastic. Their NAIDOC stuff, go onto their Facebook page, was thorough. They had some great photos and they got special boots made and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, that's... sorry, you're going to...
I don't have any more. No, that is it.
Just touching on the Group 7 thing, as we mentioned that basically... they hardly had any grounds available for the weekend. I think they had 2 or 3 available. Ashton Sims runs Group 7 down there. He's right. We're going to play first grade in the First Division of Ladies League tag. We'll wash out everything else. We'll have 2 venues. So it was like a magic round split over 2 venues.
Yeah.
Of course, they'd spent so much money on these special jerseys, and the referees. They're like, we try and get this on. So well done to everyone involved, Group 7 committee, referees, the players as well for making it happen, because it looks spectacular on BarTV.
Yeah, and I can't imagine, I can hardly run a chook raffle, but I can't imagine how you'd have to coordinate and make changes and stuff. But it's great to hear someone having a go at it, rather than going, oh, look, it's going to be too hard to get all the teams in the same spot and let everyone know and let the refs know and let the council know. They just did it.
We always get 1 or 2 whinging, we're not going to get any gate and all that stuff. But players just want to play.
That's right. And the fans would have had a cracker of a day, and had a few games to watch at once. Fantastic. Great, good on them.
Yep, well done, Group 7.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my around the groups. After very thorough, there's more, but you'll have to wait till next week.
Cool. Yeah, well done. Okay, in focus, we normally try and pick a topic and discuss it a bit in depth. Now, the Australia Cup kicks off in football or soccer in a few weeks' time, and we've harped on it a few times. Rugby league needs its own Challenge Cup style. Now, we're not saying that they'll take on NRL clubs, definitely not. Possibly New South Wales or Q Cup teams, or do you just have it as just country rugby league, or I should say community rugby league teams? So, Group 7s, Sunshine Coast, Northern Territory, West Australia, Group 21, all them, they'll play each other, get to a round of 32 or 16 like the FA Cup does. They have a special thing and they draw them out.
Yeah.
I just think it's something rugby league is lacking for country rugby league tier. I don't keep saying country rugby league, but include like the Ron Massey Cup teams, and the inner city teams in Brisbane as well. Yeah,
that's right.
I just think it's something that rugby league would need.
Yeah, and I think what I like about it, the idea is you're talking about some of those fringe competitions that we don't hear of, like Northern Territory. It's not fringe, but the competitions that are often forgotten with a bunch of other things, whether it's country rugby league representative teams or whatever it is. These teams just don't. These areas don't really get a lot of focus on them. To have basically every team around Australia available or can qualify to start at round 1 is such a fantastic thing for those areas, because if you have one team that kind of does well enough, they might move to the next part of the draw, and that seems to happen in the Australian Cup. You get these teams travelling a bit, and I think it's fantastic.
Well, in the Australia Cup, the soccer, they have regions. So Northern New South Wales here, which is basically from Swansea all the way up to the New South Wales-Queensland border. They'll have special weekends available. And then it gets down to the final 2, so they're the 2 representatives from Northern New South Wales. New South Wales football, which is basically Sydney, has 5, ACT has 1, and so on. And so you could have something similar where it's, if it's around a 32, country New South Wales gets 10 spots. Country Queensland gets 10, and you can divide it up all that. But I just think of like players like Isaac Luke playing for Ormo Shearers in the Gold Coast comp. Todd Carney playing for Byron Bay. Now, say for example, Byron Bay gets drawn to play, let's say, West Wyalong. All of a sudden, West Wyalong, Todd Carney's coming to town.
Yeah, that's right. It's exactly it. And then, like you say, you get those zones are a fantastic idea, but, then you can almost then, over time, establish a little bit of a kind of grudge match against different areas as well within a group. So you'd have in our group, our northern, maybe an eastern group 10 and a western group 10, and then they sort of clash for the whoever wins that's qualifying, or within like across groups, you know what I mean? Like you get these little grudge matches as you progress, that the best team from group 10 is now going to come, the best team from group 7 or whatever, and last time we got towed up kind of thing.
And the night they do the draw of, say, if it's a round of 16 or 32, it's like, Southport Tigers, we're going to Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right, as you get to that top bit, there's cup teams going everywhere, and I think it's a fantastic idea in that regard as well.
And there's also, one more point for me is... cameos. I think he's probably a bit too old. He'll probably say, no, I'll have a run. But Tinga Tigers, like if Nathan Blacklock says, mate, we're in the cup. I'm going to put the boots on, and
hell
stuff like that. And you might even get a few of the retired guys where, you know, I'll just throw a couple of random names. Benji Marshall might put the boots on for one of the second division teams, Goldie or Nick Ennis decides, you know what, I'm going to have a run for Belmont South Rabbitohs if they ever come back. I just think stuff like that would be, and it would, you know, it might, whether you played on a midweek Wednesday night or you just have allocated weekends where, right, this is the cup round. Perfect time of the year is State of Origin. When not much is happening with the NRL, they can have a break period. I know there's been a lot discussed over that, but I think rugby league in Australia should seriously look at this because
even to not even make it like a gimmick, but you know my love of this, but not make it like a gimmick, but say all the games have to be played at night. Or they all have to be played at night, or the first round has to be played between February and March at night. And that, just to put that out there completely, I mean, some grounds might have the lighting, so I won't push it. But you know, it'll get something unique about it as well, where people go, oh, that's right, it's February. Oh, why are they playing? Oh, that's right, it's the Challenge Cup rounds, and it's Friday night footy for the next 3 weeks. You know, and that would just get, I think, a lot of people at that time of year going, oh yeah, I might check them out. You know. Yeah.
Well, look. BarTV does do some of the games for Australia Cup. Has done for a number of years now for Fox as well, helping those guys out. But one of them is we've got to go to the Northern Territory in a couple of weeks. Like, how good would it be if, the Northern Territory champions, they're hosting, I'll use Byron Bay again or Southport, or you know, Todd Carney's coming to town, or Isaac Luke from Almost Shearers, you know, Greg Burr from Southport.
And there's a flip side as well, that there's those times will happen, but there's also the times where it'll be the Mudgee Dragons who have not that many people, you know, one or two people you might recognise, but a bunch of like tradies and stuff that are going to Northern Territory, you know, like lifetime. Forget pathways. Just a great rugby league experience for this from people where they might say, oh, the most exotic place I played was Canberra once or something. It's like, no, well, we played at Southport, or we played at Melbourne, or we played, you know, because of that one time we just had a cracker of a team and we qualified. So I really like that part of it, that if you can get fans and crowds and stuff and the media and stuff involved, great. But for the players, these are the moments where I'm sure these Australia Cup players from Beanley and all those places you've sort of hardly heard of must go, wow, you know, I never really cracked it as a professional player, but geez, I had some experience doing some different things.
Well, it comes back to, if you look at probably what the top, say, community country rugby league teams are, you'd probably say Maitland Piggers, Burleigh Bears,
Snow River Bears,
Thuril Butchers, Queanbeyan Blues, like just to name a few. That'd be the benchmark. So, you know, you'd sort of come up and play against these teams. You might get a walloping the first year. It's like, okay, righto, well, now we know what we've got to do.
You might just have a player. There might be just it sounds like it's such a lower level, but there might be like a young player that just lights up the ground that's playing for Blaney or someone, and you know, Southport go, hey, this guy's pretty good. You know, it might be just a one.
Well, that's it. The last chance of scores a cracking try, does a great hit. You know, Canterbury sees it, or you know, someone like Melbourne Storm, Craig Bellamy. Oh, let's sign this guy. Let's give him another crack.
That's right. That's the great thing, and what I love about rural and regional rugby league, there are still players who are 18, 19, 20 who can crack it in the NRL that are still living in their country town. They're not willing to move yet, and it's happening. And I've mentioned a few on here, or at least talked about some great teams that are promoting players, but they're out there, you know. It happens from time to time where a player will just come out of nowhere. So
maybe if we can get 100 likes or something on this topic, we can push it further and demand. What do you call it? Well, protest.
Well, it's been happening a lot lately.
We'll pull some strings and speak to PVL or Andrew Abdo and, hey mate, hey boys.
Well, they got the money. I keep saying they got the they give them us the money to manage. We can sort everything out right now.
And the beauty about country rugby league players is you don't have to put them in the Four Seasons or a 5-star hotel. We're bush footy people. Just a caravan park will do.
Exactly.
Just put the back seats down and sleep on the back. We don't need fancy hotels.
No, that's right. break the news to the folks from Gungahlin if they qualify, which I'm sure they will, that they're catching the bus to Darwin, they'll be like, sweet, we've got a bus.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Only one stop over though.
Yeah,
and you got the choice, either Broken Hill or Alice Springs.
Yeah, and 20,000 wee breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right.
Wouldn't that be a bus trip? An awesome bus trip.
You would, look, you're right. It's not like this is like going to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. And, push comes to shove, it's not quite billeting, but I think other teams would be, if you're in the Northern Territory, you got this team coming from Mudgee, I think they'd love to, welcome them in, host them. Well, not billeting, but I'm sure they'd make an occasion of it if there's this big discrepancy in distance and stuff.
And actually, just through another point, we've got a lot of teams called the Bears or the Magpies around the place. One thing the Australia Cup does, there's a lot of, Olympic teams. So Newcastle Olympic, Canberra Olympic, was Heidelberg down in... So Heidelberg come to Newcastle a few years ago. Yeah. Newcastle Olympic basically reached out to them and said, we're going to support you guys. We're going to have a dinner for you guys when you arrive and breakfast, and really looked after them. And so a few of the clubs are starting to do that. So there's so many opportunities, I reckon, with a Challenge Cup style. Yeah,
there's nothing bad comes out of it, except it may cost a bit of money, which is always the thing that then everyone goes, oh, we can't find the money for it. Like, well, it won't cost that much money, and there's not much to lose. Yeah. There's not much to lose. Even if you start small and then expand it, I reckon it's a goer.
Yeah. Well, we've talked enough.
We've decided on that. We've now decided, gone... right.
Give us your opinions, rugbyleague@bartv.com.au, or leave a comment on the Facebook page.
And throw spanners in our works, because I always kind of seem to I've come on this show and say, it's all so easy, you just do this and that. And I really welcome people coming and say, no, what about that problem? Or how you solve this? Yeah. And I'd love to not just give up on it, but say, yeah, you're right. What would we do about the spear weekends stuff, whatever it is?
Yeah, we'll hire somebody to worry about that problem.
Exactly, yeah, with all the money we're going to get,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's our Challenge Cup ID, Footy in Focus this week. Love to hear your feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, wrapping things up now. This week's fixtures, fingers crossed we get through everything. Hopefully all that miserable weather's gone away.
I think it's gone. I think I'm looking outside now. It doesn't look like it's coming back.
Yeah, yes. Canberra Rugby League, round 13. Any of those ones you're looking there on your screen think, that's going to be a ripper?
Oh, well, you have to, like I said, the Battle of Belconnen's going to be hard to avoid. I think it'll be a cracker of a game. It usually is anyway. Maybe Tuggeranong and Woden Valley will be the other one.
Well, just looking, besides Queanbeyan Blues v Gungahlin, they're almost like local derbies. Belconnen battle, the Southern Derby, Tuggeranong v Woden Valley, and then the rural teams.
Yeah, I was going to say, out of towners. Yeah, fantastic. That'll be a good round. And I think they will play there at least. I don't think there's going to be as much. There has been as much rain down that way.
No, Kangaroos there got the bye, so the boys will probably just go to the bistro there, the restaurant there. It's damn good.
Yeah, I thought about the Kangaroos of South West Rock. So do they have the bye? Do they get a week off it?
They're travelling down. Group 7, round 13. I don't mind the look of Warilla v the Stingrays. You might have another opinion there.
Yeah, I looked at that and my eyes lit up. Kiama, I don't know about a patchy, funny old year. So Kiama vs Milton Ulladulla, even just for the views and serenity, would be good to check that one out.
Yeah, Shell Harbour v Gerringong too. Gerringong, they're outside the 5. It's almost starting to get must-win for them.
Yeah.
Keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Sunny Coast, round 13. Don't mind Maroochydore v Namba or Kawana v Noosa. That's probably the pick.
Yes, I was going to say I'm all over that one. Yeah. Two decently informed teams at the moment. Yeah, not just good on the ladder, but they've been playing well.
Rugby League Gold Coast, round 14. I'd say Burleigh v Runaway Bay. It's like pretty much every game is going to be close. I mean, look, Helensvale could even upset Southport.
Yeah, well, I'm on the Ormo train against Tugun, but Tugun are in really good form. But I don't know, like Ormo, I don't know, there's something about them at the moment.
Yep. So some real good ones there on the Gold Coast. NRRL, round 12. Coogin v Northern United now. I think Northern United has won a couple in a row now, so Coogin having the bye or having the week off could be an upset there.
The really compressed ladder, as we saw earlier, so it'd be really important. Like some of these teams like Northern, it's a massive win if they win this week. Like it could jump them up a few places on the ladder into the top 8, wherever it is. I like Ballina and Wollumbar as a great game, though. I think I'll be keeping an eye on that one.
Yep. Round 16, Newcastle Rugby League. The match of the round is the Macquarie Scorpions Central Newcastle. Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I completely agree. Macquarie and Central, is that what we're talking about? No? Yeah. I mean, Courier, not going to do it this year, but they might push Maitland. And all of them, it could be one of those skew if ones, because I don't know when the last time half of them have played a game or had or trained,
Yeah, well, the go-winners, I think they're sitting in second at the moment, while they need to win to keep in touch. So that could be my Smokies while over at Baddeley Park.
Yeah, you never know. And like I said, like they've all had weeks off training as much as anything. Like I can't imagine anyone's training even this week going into the game.
Yeah. Illawarra, round 11. A couple of good ones there, but Collies v Thirroul stands out for mine.
Yeah, I agree. And Dapto de La Salle, I'm just really curious to see how Dapto de La Salle progresses there going through the year. Yeah,
could be de La Salle's first ever visit to the Dapto Showground.
Yes, sober or without a kebab in their hand.
Yes. Well, that's all the games on BarTV this weekend. If you're watching this show for the first time and you've just seen a heap of those games, how do I get to watch them? You can subscribe. We do have matches of the round that's free each week, but all the other games and the lower grades, you can subscribe for $19.95 a month, and 50% goes back to your country competition of your choice, and the team. Don't forget to select your team as well, because they'll get a percentage of that as well. Yeah,
and it's fantastic. Like last week, there was not a lot of other things to do. It was pouring down rain at my place, and I was just flicking. I was flicking the Sunshine Coast. A lot of games are often played at the same time, of course. So you go, I want to see what's going on over here, and that kind of stuff. So it's fantastic.
And just one last thing, I think we've got a bit of an exclusive too.
Oh, jeez.
An international coming up.
Hey, yes. Are you talking about Brisbane Way?
Yes, yeah, there it is there. I just had to find it on the phone. But so October 9th, it's Asian Footy Fest at Davis Park in Brisbane.
It's fantastic. Like this pre-COVID, that October was international month, where all these games would be on.
Yeah.
COVID happened and it hasn't happened that much. And now there's the World Cup, it's all happening in England. So it's going to be, I'm just going to have a thirst for local internationals. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so all the country comps or the local comps would have been finished, but Asian Footy Fest and the final game, Philippines v Thailand.
Yeah,
I know there's a few players of Filipino descendants or heritage, I should say, from the Newcastle area, also the Gold Coast area. That should be a really good clash.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. And like a lot of things that it's been happening for decades now, you don't quite know what the Thai officials have been doing finding heritage players.
Yeah,
they're probably everywhere in the state and around the country and around the world, really. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of lineup they put out there. Yeah,
October 9, Davis Park in Brisbane.
Davis Park, and I get to those little local grounds up Brisbane Way. I've been to Langlands Park, never been to Davis Park. It's just great to watch games with from a ground with a bit of history.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yep. All right, mate. Anything else to add?
No. There's a sportsman's lunch on Friday at the Hoey Moey. For the Comets. Kurt Gidley and Billy Peden will be the main men running the show. So Friday afternoon at the Hoey Moey on the 15th, this Friday, 1 o'clock. Holy moly, don't go there at 5 o'clock. You don't know what will be going on. But I couldn't miss that. Anyway, that was my last bit of around the group, so I had to get in.
All right, well, we're done and dusted here for another week on the Country Rugby League show. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson signing out. We'll catch you next week.
Beauty. Thanks. Cheers.